Today on WSRH Extra, we take a look at what it means to give blood.
Also, we get a sneak peek into the return of Mr. Cummings.
Plus, we bust a move with the breakdance competition. WSRH Extra starts now. Welcome to this episode of WSRH Extra. I'm Caitlin Simpson.
And I'm Bryce Brandt. What a better way to bring awareness to police officers than having a breakdance competition.
WSRH Extra reporter Rachel Clark breaks down the story.
Many dancers have come from all over Palm Beach County to compete in a bragging rights breakdancing competition.
Eventually one day I started moving to the music and the rest is history. But I've also never been in a dance battle before, so as long as I'm not dead last, I'm going to count that as a win.
This competition brought the community together for one important cause.
So it's really vital to have the positive relationship between cops and kids. So this is an event to where there's usually such a negative connotation to hip hop. This is something where we can show hip hop in a positive light. And having a West Palm Beach police officer, as well as the West Palm Beach Police Department here, we can definitely try to bridge that gap so that way kids can see police officers are real people too.
Both kids and adults compete to divide the barrier between police and the community. It also gives them a chance to show their moves.
What I like about breakdancing is when they do like this and stuff and like backflips, stuff.
I wake up every day and I dance everywhere. So
Many of these dancers are saying that this is a great way to bring the community together as a whole. Now it's time for me to bust a move. For WSRH Extra, I'm Rachel Clark.
Nearly 32,000 pints of blood are donated every year, and each donation helps save a life. Seminole Ridge had their first blood drive last week. WSRH Extra reporter Najra Perez has the story.
Last week, Seminole Ridge hosted its first blood drive of the year. They are looking at a big year of donations along with some inspiring stories.
With the coming blood drives, I hope to find someone with a good story that can inspires blood drive and what we do.
Donating blood not only helps the patient, but the donor.
It makes me feel good that I'm doing something to help.
Randy Madrano, the core coordinator of the blood drive, credits his leadership skills to help organize this year's events.
You know that I guess I have good leadership skills, so I guess it'd be a really good environment to help me develop my leadership skills.
With the first blood drive being a success, they're hoping to see more people come out and donate. Remember, when you give blood, you give life. For WSRH Extra, I'm Najra Perez.
A teacher here at the Ridge has spent a year in Kenya helping those in need. WSRH Extra reporter Aliana Augusto has a story.
This was the most important year of my life, in a sense.
No matter how long they've been teaching, teachers always remember their first year in the classroom.
I've been going to Kenya for 30 years now. I was a volunteer there. I lived there for a year and a half. Pretty much 30 years ago was my first teaching job, and I had an awesome experience.
Mr. Cummings says he returned to Kenya for one main reason: to create an impact in young lives.
We built a whole school, actually. There was a school that was totally run down. It was the remains of 2 old classrooms, and we restored those 2 classrooms, built a bunch of additional classrooms, built an administrative block, a library, amphitheater.
yes, I know the foundation that he's a part of or that he runs, fundraises throughout the year and works to build schools in Kenya.
With the impact Mr. Cummings has made, he wants others to join in on the action.
Just meeting friends, seeing friends, and seeing the progress that we make in the schools. I'm hoping to bring some people from here over there next summer.
I think it's, we have a lot of students who are very involved in their community, but then to see how they can affect communities on a global scale would be an outstanding adventure for them.
Teaching young minds is hard enough here at the Ridge, but in another country, alongside building a school, we appreciate the work of Mr. Cummings has done, and looking forward to seeing his future achievements, even starting a club here at the Ridge, specialized in helping Kenya. For WSRH Extra, I'm Aliana Augusto.
We now take a look at teachers we didn't know were athletes back in their college days.
Plus, highlights from last week's football game against Suncoast.
For those stories and more, we go to WSRH sports anchor Kevin McCarthy.
Hey, Kevin.
Thanks, Bryce and Caitlin. Friday Night Football is making some changes to ensure everyone stays safe. Plus, teachers students did not even know played sports in college. Our varsity football team took their second win of the season against Suncoast last Friday with a final score of 24-0. In the first quarter, no points were scored, but in the second, Seminole Ridge Hawk Corey Polk scored with a rush up the middle on the goal line. Daniel Ferrer added 3 to the board with a field goal before halftime. In the third quarter, Ethan Foreman ran a down and out for a touchdown thrown by Cayman Castilla, followed with an extra point. Then Corey Polk ran it back down again 15 yards in the fourth quarter, followed again by Danny Ferrer, leaving the Hawks with a win. Awesome team effort by the coaching staff and the boys to lead to a 24-0 shutout. With the recent shooting at Palm Beach Central, Friday Night Football has cracked down on security, implementing a new safety procedures. WSRH sports reporter Danielle Smith has the story.
There has been some serious changes at the Ridge and all around the district for this year of athletics. After the shooting at Palm Beach Central, stadium security has been a top priority. The school district has moved swiftly in its approach to ensure safety for everyone in attendance to athletic events. Effective immediately, nothing but clear bags shall be brought in. There will be no re-entry whatsoever. Loitering is prohibited. And lastly, all home games will be rescheduled to 6 p.m. However, these changes have upset some students who like to bring in their own belongings.
I mean, if they tell me I can't bring something in, then I really feel like that is a violation because, I mean, I do understand that a tragedy happened, but, you know, I'm coming to a football game on my own accord, you know.
On the other hand, parents agree that these changes are a good thing.
I think the precautions that they took tonight made a big difference. I felt much safer having my son here, and I would have felt much safer leaving my son here without me being here.
Regardless, these changes have been brought up due to the changing times in order to keep everyone safe.
Things are not as simple as they used to be. They're not as pure and not as clean, and it's a little bit more dangerous. So based on that danger, you take the reasonable precautions to make sure that the families are safe and the children are safe.
And if any of these safety tactics were to fail, there are emergency procedures that would take place in the event of evacuation.
We have evacuation places set up so that we know where we are sending people should a disruption occur.
While you may no longer be able to bring any more of your personal belongings, you can still enjoy the Friday Night Lights under safety. For WSRH Extra, I'm Danielle Smith.
There are many teachers at the Ridge that you may not know played sports throughout their high school and college careers. WSRH sports reporter Lauren Plancarte has the story.
We see them in the hallway as teachers, but many students often forget that their teachers were once athletes too.
The specific moments that I remember were getting to play on the NFL Hall of Fame field in Canton, Ohio. They just turfed it, and it was like playing on brand new carpet. So the first time I went to sack the quarterback, I lost all the skin off my knees and elbows.
Playing sports in college helped influence their career choice. Ms. Boutte says that being an AP was the perfect balance of being around sports and teaching.
Playing sports, you know, takes a lot of discipline. So I knew I had the natural disciplinarian in me because I liked structure and the discipline aspect of sports that it gives you.
While Ms. Boutte and Coach Chief chose their career, Coach Cascos was chosen for him. Coach Cascos says that he was a quarterback at Drake University and was then drafted into the Canadian Football League, but then he endured something that would change his plans for the future.
I actually signed with the USFL and was hit by a drunk driver, and that kind of knocked me out when I was going to camp. I was supposed to go play with the San Antonio Gunslingers. That kind of ended my career when I get hit by the drunk driver and kind of pushed me back a little bit, and left college coaching and came to high school.
Coach Casco says that his accident changed his life and made him who he is today. For Coach Casco, Ms. Boutte, and Coach Chief, college sports influenced their career choice and continue to play a big role in their lives to this day. For WSRH Extra, I'm Lauren Placarte.
For Coach Casco, Ms. Boutte, and Coach Chief, they found their true passion through college sports, which led them to where they are today. Well, that's it for WSRH Sports. I'm Kevin McCarthy.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, that's it for this episode of WSRH Extra. If you have any story ideas, please tweet us at SeminoleRidgeTV. I'm Caitlin Simpson.
And I'm Bryce Brandt. We leave you with this week's Edit to the Beat by Caitlin and I.